I want y'all to pull up a chair, cut on your TV, or your phone, your tablet, whatever you watch my videos on. Let's sit down and have a little bit of discussion about what? Well, niche fragrances versus designer versus cheapies. You up for it? Come on back. Sit down and have a talk with your boy. What's going on, everybody? Move the camera just a little bit. There we go. You know who it is. It's that boy of yours. That's right. It's Trey Sense. So I was sitting here thinking, and I wanted to do. Let me just square up, guys. I want that glare from the curtain to come in. I wanted to have a little discussion about niche fragrances versus designer fragrances versus cheapies. Okay, the elephant in the room, the big question that everybody always wants to know, is there a difference between designer fragrances and niche fragrances? Yes, it is. There is a difference between designer fragrances and niche fragrances. Is it a big difference? Depends on the designer. Depends on the niche. Is there a difference between Calvin Klein and Creed? Yes, a huge difference. A huge difference. The majority of the best Calvin Klein fragrances, and I like Calvin Klein, doesn't smell anywhere near as rich and as deep as the worst Creed fragrance. However, the most expensive Calvin Klein fragrance you can buy a lifetime supply of for what you're going to buy for one Creed fragrance. So you always have to do the comparison, and you have to keep that in mind. You can't just say, well, that just sums it up. Niche fragrances are better. Depending on how you look at it. I have Calvin Klein Reveal, and I have tons of CK Summers. I have Obsession, I have Escape, I have Eternity, and all those are bangers, and they all smell good. Obsession, does it smell like a niche fragrance? No, it doesn't. Does it perform like one? It performs like you would expect a niche fragrance to perform. Projects 2.5 to 3 hours, stays on you all day. Smells good, strong, mass appealing, everything that you would think a niche fragrance would do, Obsession does. So is it as good as a niche fragrance? I know. CK Reveal, same thing. Good performance, good longevity. Excuse me. Good performance, good longevity, smells good. Is it niche quality? It's pretty close. Pretty close. But it's nowhere near niche price. So my point is simply this. I feel like there are a few niche houses out there that are worth investing your money in, and that are worth spending the money in because you're going to get a good quality product. One of them, I don't have a full bottle yet. I got my eye on March Madness in this NCAA tournament. As I kick back and had this conversation with my homeboys, we doing what homeboys we do, watch the basketball game and talk. A niche house that I feel like is worth investing your money in, and again, keep in mind, this is 100% my opinion, not anybody else's. It's just my opinion. It's just what I think. It's just how I feel. Amouage. I have several fragrances from Amouage. I have them in these little travel decants from Scentbird. But that's enough juice for me because these aren't everyday fragrances. Most of them are rich, earthy, very strong, very well made fragrances that you can get between $100 and $150 if you shop right. And that's for 100 ml. And I think it would be hard for you to go wrong with that, especially if you're looking for a special occasion scent that's just different and just stands out, whether it's Journeyman, Jubilation 25, Moroccan Man, Fate Man, all of those smell really good. I like Beach Hut Man. All of those smell really, really good and can be had for between $100 and $150, $175. Yes, that's pricey, but for that price, you're gonna get a fragrance that gives you great performance. You're gonna get good longevity, good, oh my goodness, which one is that? The Blue Beast, Journeyman. That stuff stays on forever. Stuff stays on forever, and you're gonna smell different because it's not a mass appealing fragrance. It's what I think a niche fragrance should be. It smells different than anything out there. Niche fragrances, in my opinion, shouldn't be mass appealing because they're niche fragrances. They're supposed to fit into a niche, a special category, something different. If niche fragrances are mass appealing, then you're defeating the purpose. But Amouage is a house that I think you would be safe investing your money in because you're gonna get a good presentation along with good performance. That's just me. A designer house, another niche house that I think would be very safe for you to invest in if you were looking to delve into the world of niche history is De Parfums. And again, they're not overly expensive. They're not $300 or $400 either. You can get a good bottle of that anywhere from around $100 to $150, $175. Yeah, that's right. And they come with, again, great presentation. The products do exactly what they're supposed to do. They work good. They perform good. The longevity is good. The projection is good. The scent trail is good. I absolutely love everything that I have from History's De Parfum. And I have several. One of my favorites is $18.99. And I like it. As you can see, I put a little dent in this. These are not fragrances that you're going to wear every day. They're just not everyday fragrances, but they do smell good. And they're pretty safe fragrances to invest your money in. Now, I'm not knocking any house or any other fragrance. If you like Xerjoff, fine. The only Xerjoff I've smelled is Nexos. If you like Perfume de Marly, I think that's great. I think they're a good house to start in as well, because everything I smell from Perfume de Marly, I have liked. Not real sure about the price range on Perfume de Marly, though I think you can get some for around that $150 to $200 mark. I'm not sure about the more popular ones like Godolphin and Harriet and things like that, which I love that scent. I would buy a bottle of that, especially if I can get it for around $150, $175 mark. So I'll say Perfume de Marly is one that's pretty safe for you to buy. The only thing I've smelled from Xerjoff is Nexos. Did it smell good? Yeah, it did. But I think those are kind of hard to get at a reasonable price. And do I think they're worth the price? The one I smelled? No. Did it smell good? Yes, it did. But did it smell like something that somebody would say, you're wearing something that smells expensive? No, not to me. Now, again, that's just my opinion. Another niche house that I think would be safe to invest in, and if I were you and I were going to spend my hard-earned money on a niche fragrance, the first place I would start would be Mancera. For what you pay for, and you can get Mancera starting around $100 and some cheaper if you shop right. You can get it for $70 or $80 if you shop right. And is it worth it? Yes, because you get a well-made product that is generally, Red Tobacco is the one I have from the line. I didn't feel like dragging it out, but that stuff gets on you, it's on you. It's on you all day. It is a great smelling fragrance. It's powerful. It does what it's supposed to do. Not all niche houses are like that. Another niche house that I just don't feel like is worth the money. And it's hard for me to say this because they make one of my favorite fragrances. Let me see, I just had it. And this is Elysium by Rosie Dove. I have 2 of these. And I love this scent profile. Back when I was married, I know y'all know I was married to my ex-wife, Kels. We went to church, and we always went to dinner, to lunch right after church. Well, we were in the car, and I had worn Elysium, and I guess she got a whiff of it. And she was like, "What is that you got on?" And I was like, "Why?" And she, in no certain words, was like, as good as you smelling right now, some things could happen. Nonetheless, as good as the fragrance smelled, as I peek at the game, that's a close one. As good as the fragrance smelled, and the presentation on it is not bad either, but the performance of Elysium on my skin is horrible. for that price point. You're talking about a $200 to $300 to $400 fragrance that gives me about 45 minutes to an hour of projection and maybe 3 hours of longevity. Pump fake game got to be strong. So as opposed to spending my money on that, I hit Travis up over at Dapper and bought his version. And as you can see, I've almost went through it. So it's a fragrance that I like. And I also have some others from the House of Rosia, like Vetiver and Scandal. I have 2 or 3 from Rosia. And the scent profile is good, but everything else that you would expect from a niche fragrance is not there. It's just not there. Now, Creed, because everybody knows Creed. It's one of the most well-known houses out there. It's very popular. Everybody knows it. I have 2 offerings from the House of Creed. I've smelled something. No, that's a lie. I have more than 2 because I have a sample pack that has Viking in it, which I love. I would buy Viking. I think it has Virgin Island water in it, which is a beautiful scent. But I'm not sure if I would pay full retail for Virgin Island water, and here's why. Performance on it is not good. I have several. I have Green Irish Tweed. I can't remember what's on my sample pack though. But the 2 that I have full bottle presentations of, these 2. And this is of course the King, Aventus, and Royal Oud. I picked Royal Oud up for $179 at TJ Maxx. Do I think it's worth it? Yeah, I do. And here's why. Performance is good. Projection is good. Presentation is good. Would I pay full retail for it? No, I wouldn't. Again, I got lucky and found it at a discounter. Since the smell is still weak, y'all, but it's coming back. But this is one I think is a nice fragrance. This is not an everyday scent. This is not an office scent. This is a special occasion scent. This is something that you pull out to wear when you got something special going on and you want to commemorate that occasion and always be able to think about this fragrance and wearing it on that occasion. That's what fragrances like these are meant for, unless you're a millionaire and you can afford to buy this every time you run out of it, which most of us cannot. Therefore, we only wear it on special occasions now. Here's the thing about Creed. They changed ownership. And from what I'm hearing and what I've been reading and the research that I've done, the new formulations of stuff just doesn't have the same oomph. It doesn't have the same projection, doesn't have the same longevity. I was fortunate and was gifted this by my ex-wife, 4.2 ounce, 125 ml bottle. So that tells you right there, it's one of the older ones. Now, I sent my boy Cheapo a decant of this, and he was like, man, yours smell better than mine. His is newer. His is in a smaller 3.3 ounce bottle, and according to him, they don't smell the same. But he loved this one because it was fruity, longevity on it was good, projection was good, nice bottle. And I think she got this one at a pretty good deal. I can't remember where she got it, but I think she paid around $200, maybe $250 for this one. Is it worth that? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Do I love it? Yes. Does it smell good? Yes. Is it a trophy piece? Yes. Is it a conversation starter? Yes. Is it a compliment magnet from the women? No. Not really. No, not at all, to be honest with you. I think I've received one compliment while wearing this. And yeah, but it was from somebody that's used to being around me, so I don't know if they complimented me because they know I always have on fragrances, so to speak, so not real sure. But Creed Venice, I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. The verdict is still out. I don't know if I would pay $250 for that again. I don't know. Do I love it? Yes, it smells good. Now, I want to talk about some designer fragrances that are of niche quality. Well, while I'm on the subject of Creed, this little thing right here. This is a $12 to $15 fragrance when you can find it. It's hard to find because it's been discontinued. But this smells very similar to this. Just saying. And if I'm 100% honest with you, I got more compliments off of this than I did Creative Venice, and it's not even close. Now, I don't have Club D Louis Man Intense, however you say it. I don't have the Man Intense, the black bottle with the tacky stuff on it. I don't have it. But from what I've heard and the research I've done, it's a compliment getter, it's a performer, and it's inexpensive. What, 30 bucks? So 30 bucks, and you're gonna get the same vibe as this? Guys, you know, I don't know. Again, if you've got the money to dish out on this, then go for it. But if you don't, fragrances like this will do you just fine. Nobody's gonna know the difference, because I've yet to have, the only fragrance that I've ever had somebody say, you're wearing and be right, was Jupe. I was at a nightclub one time and I had on Jupe because I forgot that everything went non-smoking. So I was like, I need something that's gonna cut through the smoke. So I reached for Jupe. And it was a young lady, attractive young lady. Every time she walked by me, she said, somebody's got on Jupe. And she looked at me, she said, it's you. That Jupe. I mean, that's all she kept saying. Talking about how good I smell. So if you're wearing fragrances to attract the opposite sex, we gotta rethink things, because the fragrances that we wear are loved by cologne reviewers who are males. So, I mean, it is what it is. One of my most complimented fragrances of all time is a Bodman body spray by the name of Techno. Now, I've been wearing this since probably about 2000, and it's hard to find now. They don't sell it in the stores anymore. You can get it offline. But I've been wearing this for 20 plus years. And this is one of my most complimented fragrances. Yeah. What does it smell like? Gucci guilty. As a matter of fact, I'm making my scent of the day since I don't have anything on. It's nice, grassy, fresh, perfect for this time of the year or the summertime. Got a cool, refreshing effect to it. Effect to it. Just a nice, easy to wear fragrances. I had a gentleman follow me. I was at work one day. This back when I was still working and managing convenience stores. Followed me around the store, asking me what I was wearing. And this was a guy in a suit and a tie, clearly a businessman. And he kept calling out high-end name fragrances. Is that Gucci guilty? Is that so-and-so? He called out about 5 or 6 high-end, high-dollar fragrances. And I was like, no. I finally told him, I said, man, this is a $4, $5 body spray that you can get at Walmart and Kmart called Bodman Techno. And you should have seen his face. He was like, that smells amazing. And I was like, it's because it radiates off your skin. It really does a good job of longevity and projection, especially for the price that it is. I think this big thing right here was like $6.99, $7. Now that I can only get it online, it's a little bit more. It's like $15, but still, it's 8 ounces. I'm good. I'll keep that in my collection. This game is about over. 7.3 seconds left. And Florida is up by 3. Excuse me, y'all. All right. What else do I want to talk about? Some designer fragrances that smell like niche, but that are really low end. Moschino Toy Boy. This rose pear face goodness, man. Longevity's good, projection's good, performance is good. Beautiful fragrance. Love the design. Nothing out there looks like this or really smells like it. It's just a great fragrance. Another even cheaper fragrance, and you can get 100 ml of this for about $50 to $70 if you shop right. Keyword is shopping right, meaning hit your discounters online up, hit your homeboy that's got the connection up. There's several places that you can get fragrances, at a good price. Go somewhere where you can bargain with people. Some of those little kiosks in the mall, and you go in there and the guy's like $50, and you're like, I ain't got 50, I got 40. I ain't looking at it and it's going, well, I need 49. And you're like, I ain't got $40. If you lay them 2 20s or 4 10s or whatever you got out there, he gonna look at it and be like, take it. You come back, buy more. Another one. Tie game. 1.4 seconds left. Dude just hit a 3. Florida just took a timeout. Tie game was Union taking Florida. Anyway, Bentley for Men Intense. I don't know about the rest of the line. I've heard it's pretty good. But if you want an inexpensive fragrance that smells of high-end niche quality for $30, Bentley for Men Intense, man. This is a beast mode fragrance that just boozy, smooth, confident, man. If Bentley had charged $150 for this, they could have got it all day long. No joke. It's just beautiful bottle, solid. It feels good in your hand. This cap feels amazing. Everything about this fragrance says high quality, high end, expensive. So since Bentley don't make clothing, does it make them a niche house? I know they make cars. But would Bentley fragrances be considered niche because the definition of designer is that they make stuff, shirts, hat, they make clothing. That's what makes it designer. So since Bentley does not make anything but cars and cologne, does that make this niche? Ask yourself. I don't know. One last thing I want to talk about, and then I'm going to get up off of this and go edit this video. And samples. These are free at Dillard's. All you got to do is go get them. And this is Spice Bomb Night Vision EDP, another Spice Bomb EDP Night Vision, Dior Sauvage perfume, another Dior Sauvage perfume. These are high-end fragrances, high-end designer. So I guess what I'm trying to say is this: before you spend your hard-earned money on a fragrance that you may or may not like, do some research. I'm calling fire. I ain't calling fire. It's like overtime. Do some research. Get you some samples. Watch some reviewers. Read some reviews. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, it's your money. So you got to be confident in your purchase, and you got to like it, because the worst thing in the world is spending a lot of money on something and then not liking it. And if we're honest with ourselves, that happens a lot because we get caught up in the hype of certain things. I have not smelled the majority of the fragrances out there. I've only smelled a small portion, probably 10 to 15% of the fragrances in the world I've only got my nose on. So what's that telling you? And as far as collections goes, I have to admit, I do things the wrong way, because my collection is huge, and it shouldn't be, because you only need about 5 to 10 fragrances in your collection. Is if you can reach for a fragrance that you would wear to a wedding, to a funeral, to your anniversary dinner, to running errands, then you're doing it right. Guys like me are doing it wrong, because we have fragrances on top of fragrances that we're never gonna wear, we're never gonna use up, ever. This stuff will be here when I'm gone, and that's it's really a shame. I've got fragrances. If I started wearing a fragrance a day right now, the year would end before I got to it all. And that's if I didn't buy anything else. And I've got another video I'm gonna shoot in a day or two about what's new to my fragrances, because I've got 4 more that are new. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if your collection fits your need and your lifestyle, be happy with it. Be happy with it. Whether it's bigger than mine, if it's got mine by 10,000 bottles, be happy with it. If it's only 6 bottles, be happy with it. If your fragrance needs are being met, and don't feel like you have to do anything else to compete with Trey Scents or Cheap Scents or JP or Manuel or Sam or Russell Mack or anybody. If you're happy with your fragrance, then be happy with it. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap this video up. I hope you found this to be informative and useful. Be sure to leave your comments down below about what you think about niche versus designer. Some other designer fragrances that I think are worth putting your money into. I do think the CK line is a good line to start. Performance is not good, but when you're comparing performance versus price, when you got fragrances like CK Shock, CK Reveal, Eternity, some of the Eternity, CK1 is a beautiful fragrance. And most of these you can pick up for well under 30 bucks. It's a good place to start. The Banana Republic Icon line, I think it's a very, very nice designer line to start with, or to bolster your collection with. Perry Ellis, make some really nice cheapies, You know, they've got some that smell like Chanel. They've got some that smell like Aqua di Gio. They've got some that smell like really high-end designer fragrances that you can get for $10 or $15. Armani. I think Armani is a good designer house. Not the best, but I think Chanel. Chanel is a very, very good designer house, and so is Dior. You buy Chanel products, you buy Dior products, you're very close to niche. Dolce & Gabbana, the one, EDT and EDP, very close to niche. Just a little bit off, but very, very close. Very, very close. I mean, and this is just my opinion. So at the end of the day, Versace products, I think a good Versace Dylan Blue, I think is an amazing product. Versace Blue Jeans, an old school. Those are really good. Gucci, I think is a really good designer house. Gucci for home too, if you can find that at a reasonable price. I love that scent. It's one of my favorites. Dunhill, you know, I personally like the Dunhill icon. I like fragrances from Dunhill, especially the cheaper ones that are around $10 or $12. Are they a little underdeveloped? Yes, they are. But again, price point. You have to look at the price point. And after you've had them on your skin for 10 or 15 minutes, hey, you know. But your fragrance should fit your lifestyle. That's just my opinion, and mine certainly fits mine. I'm not a rich man. I don't want 50 or 60 bottles of niche fragrances sitting around. I have quite enough niche here, and I've tried niche fragrances from 8 Bob, which I absolutely love, which is a house I would love to dive into, but the fragrances are a little pricey. Love them, but they're pricey. Love, is it Champ DNTs, and they have funny names I can't pronounce. Egypt, all those are very beautiful fragrances, but they're expensive. And I just don't see spending the $250, $300 to get them that it costs. So, my fragrance collection fits my lifestyle. I am proud of it. I have a little bit of everything. I've tried all kinds of niche fragrances like Amouage, Carnival, Solana, just several. Perfumes. What was I talking about? I totally forgot the name of that house now. It's not perfumes. History's the Parfum. I mean, I've tried several. I have several from that house. I actually enjoy them. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna get off here. Please be sure to like, share, and sub. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for stopping by. I'm going to edit it. What little editing I'll have to do to this one. And until next time, y'all, please stay safe. Have a good weekend. Let's watch some basketball. Peace.